Hello and welcome to Raab Journal. I'm Calvin Raab. Internet domains have become a multi-billion-dollar industry, and people are just starting to come to terms that you can make real money buying and selling domain names. The problem for most people is they just don't know where to start. So that's what this video is going to be tackling. This video is going to tackle how you can find real profitable domains that people actually want, where's the best, safest, and cheapest place to buy those domains, and lastly, and probably the most important, is how you can sell them. So, let's begin. This is instantdomainsearch.com. So basically what you can do here is type in to see if domains are available or not. And they'll give you other recommendations if it is, which is always helpful. And this is oftentimes where people get stuck because there are literally an infinite number of domains that you can purchase right now. So how do you narrow that pool down? Well, the first thing that you have to do is find a niche market. Maybe a hobby or a sport or something that you know a lot about. One that I use often and really is probably the most popular is business related domains because obviously, a lot of people will buy business domains. It's the most common domains out there. So I recommend people investigating niches inside business, law, engineering, and big fields like that where the demand is very high for domains. So let's get started. Because my website is all about entrepreneurship, business, and money, we're going to start with just entrepreneur. And it's obviously taken. It's actually taken by Entrepreneur Magazine, who actually own this domain. So once you do this, this is oftentimes kind of a stop sign for many people. They don't continue. They're like, oh, the word I wanted in my niche is taken. So they just kind of give up. But if you really want to make money, you got to dive a little bit deeper. The URL you wanted is taken. So now you got to use online marketing tools to find domains that are like it that you can buy right now that are actually available. The most common tool is Google AdWords. So let's head over to Google AdWords. Alright, so here we are at Google AdWords. This is something called the Keyword Planner. This is all free. Once you make an account with Google AdWords, you can use this tool, Keyword Planner, which lets you know how much something is used. So as you can see, we have entrepreneur dialed in up there, and here it is. It gives you a wonderful thing to show you how often this is searched, this exact word, into Google. But then it goes into more detail down here. It gives similar words to that, or similar searches, maybe by like the same people that just follow the same online trend. So this is what people are also typing in that is like entrepreneur. As you can see, entrepreneur is always kind of in that word. So what I always do is once I find a niche market and a word, I go and type in almost every single one of these back into the domain search. I recommend going locally. Just look at this. So I personally live in Poway, California, which if you didn't know, it's a small city just outside of San Diego. So once you type in Poway, look at that. PowayEntrepreneur.com is available. And going locally really works for anything. I mean, suppose we did, if you didn't choose business and you decided to go a little bit tastier of a route and went donut, if I added San Diego, look, San Diego Donut is available. And you can look at domains that have already been bought and buy them. The way you can do this is suppose you find a domain and it doesn't have a website and it doesn't look like it's being used, then you could contact the person that owns that domain and say, hey, I'd like to buy this domain and get it off your hands. You could do it that way, or much like you see on your screen right now, these are expired domains, ones that were bought previously but then weren't renewed and went kind of right back on the market. Buying these are oftentimes a great idea because, as you can see, some are purchased farther back, and if they're purchased longer ago, they already have some SEO, search engine optimization, already instilled in them. Maybe they're already ranking in search engines even though they're not even a used domain. So if you pick those up, sometimes some SEO work is already done for you, or if you're going to sell them right away, it's already easier because they already have a few backlinks already installed inside that domain. Now, you should have a couple domains with you, maybe 4 or 5 that you really like. So let's take those 4 domains to the next level. Let's go see how much they're actually worth. So to see how much your domain is really worth, we go to different domain appraisal websites where you can just type in your domain and they will tell you how much they believe that it's worth. And I would be pretty careful when you use one of these. Don't completely rely on these, because each of these websites have particular algorithms that just check for a couple of things. And if your domain doesn't have them, then it will give you a very poor response back. So if you get a great response, then great, but if you don't chuck away your domains just yet. So you could just type in any domain here. I don't know, we could go to entrepreneur.com and then you just click evaluate, and then after some time it will go and give you it. Right now it's checking all of its data. So it thinks entrepreneur.com is almost worth $1 million, which actually kind of makes sense. So if you find an open domain worth that much, buy it. So now if you followed each of the strategies and ideas that I've talked about, you probably have a few domains that you'd like to purchase now. So let's do just that. Let's go and buy those domains. Alright, now it's time to get your wallet out and pay for those domains. Don't worry, you'll be making that money back soon. There are about 4 companies that I recommend buying your domains from. The first one being GoDaddy, as you see here. Namecheap.com is another one. Google Domains is actually becoming a bigger and bigger deal as I keep seeing it come up more and more now. And Register.com is another one where you can buy domains. These 4 are some of the biggest in this industry, and I recommend using these guys for multiple different reasons. First, you don't want to be lured in by cheap prices from other companies. A lot of people advertise as being extremely cheap, but they don't offer quality service. And you don't want to be lured in just by money, because if you get caught in like a scam or something, that's way worse than having to spend a little bit more for these companies. So out of those 4, which one do I recommend the most? I recommend GoDaddy the most. That's just because GoDaddy is by far the biggest domain registrar. They have so much experience, and when I've talked to them through their support line, they're extremely helpful and quick to respond, and they own so many marketing tools, and they have a great vast knowledge about domains. A lot of different marketing tools are linked back to GoDaddy or bought by GoDaddy. So this is what I recommend using. Any of the 4 are great. I've seen great reviews from all of these. But I do recommend staying out of smaller companies. You want to go bigger when it comes to domains. It's just safer and makes a little bit more sense. So now it's time to buy those domains that we've talked about. Then, once they're bought, we go into the fun part about how you can sell them for a profit. Alright, so it is now time to sell your domains. I'll talk about 3 different ways in which you can sell your domains. 3 strategies. The first one being off of auctions, which is the most popular way to do it and how most people do it. The other one is forums, and the third one is actually business contact. But let's start with auctions, because this is how most people and how you will make money is through selling them on auctions. There are different auction websites that you would recommend, and I kind of have 4, again, that I would recommend selling. First one, of course, being GoDaddy here. They have their own. Afternick.com. That's another one right here. Flippa is another one, which I've used quite a bit. And Cedo. So a little bit about each one. Of course, GoDaddy, I believe they have the most domain names just because they are GoDaddy, and these are all legit. You won't find any scams here. These are all easy to transfer onto your GoDaddy account if you did go with GoDaddy. So it's just another reason to use GoDaddy. Moving to Afternick, this one I haven't really used that much, but after reading many forums, many people actually like this one. I've seen people sell some pretty big domains off of this website. And as you can just see right here, we got a few big domains for sale. couple for 25 grand. We got a 60 grand buy right here, insurance.global. So these guys definitely know what they're doing. They got some big domains up on their website. But I added them because I've seen such good reviews from them. Now Flippa. I've used this one before. If you don't know what this one is and you're an entrepreneur, I recommend getting on board with this. Well, this is more than a domain selling website. It sells domains, apps, and websites. I've actually used this one a couple times, and they have a terrific app that I use to just see what's going on. I use this website a lot to see where the domain market is, what's selling, what's not. They sell huge domains here. I've seen a few, almost about $1 million that they've sold. The last one is Cedo. This one, I think of it as kind of Flippa's little brother. They obviously have huge domains. We see this one right here going for $500,000 US. The only difference is this one just does domains, and they do it well. Again, very intuitive. So that's about it with these domains. These are the 4 auction sites that I recommend using, and you'll have the best luck. So if you auction is the way you want to go, these are the 4 websites you got to check out. And again, they will all be in the description below. Alright, the second way that you can sell your domain, and that is forums. Forums are really, really helpful. I will oftentimes not so much sell different domains on forums, but they're great to check out because you can see what's working, what's not. As you can see here, this is namepros.com. It's one that I will check out quite often. As you can see, there's just a lot of discussion. So the forums that I recommend using are namepros, which is right here, DN forum, which is this, kind of the same setup, a little bit more selling, and lastly, this is domain state, but the forum is right there. And this is very helpful. A lot of people are on this one. So forums are a great thing to check out. If you find an opportunity to sell a domain, talk to someone, negotiate a domain name, you can sell them that way. Or it's just great for getting knowledge about what's working and what's not. So forums are a great route to go. If you want to really do well in this forum industry, you're going to want to see what the competition really is, and forums are the way to go. Now to the third and final strategy, and we're back to instant domain search. The third and final strategy that you can do to sell your domains is business contact. And it's sort of what it sounds. So let's take your domain name. Earlier I talked about donut. Okay, so it's taken. So then I told you to go locally. Poway Donut. Let's add a little S there. Poway Donuts. There we go. Here's the domain that I could go and buy right now. Now I gotta think, who would want this domain? Who would profit from this domain? Well, donut shops in Poway. So then you would go here and find donuts in Poway, California. Look at that. Alright, so here we go. Here are the top 10 donuts in Poway according to Yelp. And there's many donut places around here, so let's go to Donutopia. So here we are, and what I would do now is I would contact the owners of Donutopia. I would go to their website, find an email, and I would shoot them an email, and I would say something like, "Dear whoever this may concern, my name is Calvin Raab. I am a domain expert, and I would like to let you know about a opportunity. I have the domain powaydonuts.com. It gets this many clicks or this many searches every month in Google. Thank you. Please contact me here if you wish to continue," and things like that. And you could send that email to every single donut store here. And most likely, someone will respond. And it's an easy way to sell a domain. If it does bring in customers, they're willing to pay a few bucks to buy your domain. Alright, so that about wraps it up. Those are strategies in which you can use to find domains that are very easy to sell and profitable, where you can buy them, and the 3 best ways to sell them. We're now back to raabjournal.com. I hope everything helped here. I do want to know in the comments below what is and maybe is not working for you. Maybe I missed some important forums or some important places where I can sell domains, so be sure to let me know how you use it in the comments below. And of course, if you have any questions at all, you can either head to my website and contact me, or just leave a little question in the comments below and I will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much for listening. I am Calvin Raab for Raab Journal, and I'll see you soon.